My girlfriend brought her ex to a bar to test if I was the jealous type. He spent an hour mocking me while she laughed, so I handed him the business card of his girlfriend's father. I am Tyler, 29M, and I have been engaged to Amanda, 27F, for 8 months. She works in social media marketing, and I am a project manager at a construction company. We have been together 2 years total, and I thought everything was solid until 3 weeks ago. My buddy Kevin was grabbing coffee downtown when he saw Amanda and some guy holding hands, acting like a couple. Kevin felt terrible telling me, but he took a discreet photo and sent it with a text. Dude, you need to see this. The photo hit me like a truck. Amanda was kissing this guy at a corner table, and they definitely weren't acting like friends. I recognized him from her Instagram stories. Leo, her ex-boyfriend from college, who she claimed was just a friend now. Instead of confronting her immediately, I decided to play it smart. I started acting slightly more jealous and possessive, just enough to get under her skin, making comments when her phone buzzed, asking who she was texting, wondering why she was coming home late from girls' nights. It worked perfectly. Within a week, Amanda was complaining to her friends that I was becoming controlling and insecure. She started talking about how she needed to prove to me that I could trust her with male friends. Last Tuesday, she sat me down for a serious conversation. Tyler, your jealousy is becoming a problem. I think you need to meet Leo so you can see we are just friends. I need to know you can handle me having male friends without being weird about it. I pretended to be reluctant, then agreed. If it is important to you, I will meet him. I just want you to be happy. She smiled like she had won something. It will be good for you. Leo's a really confident guy. Maybe some of that will rub off on you. The meeting was set for Friday night at Murphy's, this upscale bar downtown. I spent Thursday shopping for recording equipment, a pen camera from Amazon, a small voice recorder, and I practiced using both until I could operate them naturally. Friday evening, I got to Murphy's early and picked a corner booth. Amanda arrived at 7:30 with Leo, and I immediately understood why Kevin had been so concerned. This guy was everything I am not. Tall, perfectly styled hair, expensive watch, the kind of confidence that comes from never being told no. Tyler, meet Leo, Amanda said, sliding into the booth next to him instead of me. Leo, this is my fiancé. I have told you so much about. Leo's handshake was designed to intimidate, but I just gave him a normal grip back. Nice to meet you, man. Amanda's mentioned you a few times. All good things. I hope, Leo said with a smirk that suggested otherwise. For the next hour, I sat there and took it. Leo dominated every conversation, telling stories about his successful personal training business, his new BMW, his recent trip to Vegas. Every story was designed to make me look small by comparison. So, Tyler, Amanda tells me you work construction, Leo said, making it sound like I cleaned sewers. That must be physical work, project management. Actually, I coordinate builds for commercial properties. Ah, paperwork. Amanda always said she needed someone more adventurous in her life. Amanda giggled and touched Leo's arm. Leo just got back from Costa Rica. He was training a celebrity client, so much more exciting than dealing with contractors all day. I nodded politely while Leo launched into another story about his amazing life. About halfway through his performance, I leaned forward and put on my most sincere face. Leo, can I ask you something man to man? I know this is awkward, but Amanda says you guys are just friends. I am trying to work on my jealousy issues, so I guess I just need to hear it from you directly. It was like throwing gasoline on his ego. Leo sat back, puffed out his chest, and looked at Amanda with this predatory smile. Friends? He chuckled. Yeah, you could say Amanda and I are very close friends. That is what I figured. You guys have history. I respect that history. Leo was getting cocky now, buddy. We are still making history. Where do you think she was last Tuesday when she told you she was at book club? Amanda covered her mouth, giggling like a schoolgirl. They thought they were breaking me, but they were just handing me the evidence I needed. So you are saying you two are still? I let my voice trail off, looking hurt and confused. Every chance we get, Leo leaned in close, his voice a triumphant whisper. She comes to you for the boring stuff, paying bills, planning weddings. She comes to me when she wants to feel alive. That was it. Clear confession, recorded in high definition. I played the hurt fianc for a few more minutes, then excused myself to the bathroom to make sure everything had recorded properly. When I came back, Amanda was looking at me with this mixture of pity and satisfaction. "How are you feeling about everything, Tyler? You seem to be handling this well." "I am handling it fine," I said calmly, pulling out my wallet. "Actually, Leo, before I forget, I have something for you." I reached into my jacket and pulled out a business card. Not just any business card, Richard Sterling's business card. I had looked up Leo's company online and discovered something interesting about his employment situation. "What is this?" Leo asked. "Taking the card? Your boss's business card. Well, technically your boss's boss, Richard Sterling, CEO of Sterling Enterprises." Leo's face went pale. "How do you know Richard Sterling?" "I don't, but I know his daughter Clara," I smiled calmly. "Your girlfriend, right? She is very pretty. You two make a cute couple on Instagram." The color completely drained from Leo's face. Amanda was looking back and forth between us, confused. "Tyler, what are you talking about?" Amanda asked. "I am talking about the fact that Leo here is engaged to his boss's daughter, and he just confessed to cheating on her. With you, on camera." I held up the pen, still recording. "Leo, would you like to repeat what you just said about Amanda coming to you when she wants to feel alive? I am sure Clara would love to hear it." Leo was staring at the pen like it was a loaded gun. "You recorded us?" "I recorded you confessing to adultery with my girlfriend while you are engaged to your boss's daughter. This is going to make for some interesting conversations at Sterling Enterprises on Monday." Amanda grabbed my arm. "Tyler, you cannot be serious. This was just a test to see if you were jealous." "You are right, Amanda. It was a test. But the test wasn't for me." I stood up and dropped cash on the table. "Leo, enjoy your weekend. Clara's going to get a very interesting email tonight." I walked out of Murphy's while they sat there in stunned silence. The real show was just getting started. Update 1, sorry for the delay. Had to deal with some crazy fallout over the weekend. You guys are not going to believe how fast this all unraveled. So I left Murphy's Friday night and drove straight home to my laptop. I edited the video footage and audio together into a clean 3-minute clip showing Leo's entire confession. Crystal clear video. Perfect audio. No way to deny what happened. I spent Saturday morning doing research. Found Clara Sterling on social media. Found Richard Sterling's corporate email. Even found some business articles about Sterling Enterprises. Richard Sterling looked like the kind of man who chewed nails for breakfast. I wrote 2 emails. The first was to Clara, explaining who I was and that I had information about her fiancé's behavior that she needed to see. I kept it respectful but direct. She deserved to know the truth. The second email was to Richard Sterling. I introduced myself as someone who had discovered unprofessional conduct by one of his executives that had personal implications for his family. Very formal, very professional. I sent both emails Saturday night around 11 p.m., then turned off my phone and went to bed. Sunday morning, my phone had 23 missed calls. Most were from Amanda, but there were also calls from numbers I didn't recognize. The voicemails were a wild ride. Amanda went from confused to angry to panic to sobbing as Saturday night turned into Sunday morning. But the most interesting voicemail came from Leo himself at 6:30 a.m. Sunday. He was crying. "Tyler, what did you do?" Clara saw the video. Her father saw it. "I am ruined. My life is over. Please, you have to help me fix this." I called him back from a blocked number. "Leo, you sound upset. What is wrong? You know what is wrong." Clara broke up with me. Her father is talking about firing me. This is insane. It was just harmless fun. Harmless fun. You were bragging about cheating on your girlfriend with my girlfriend. In what world is that harmless? Look, Amanda and I weren't serious. We were just fooling around. You don't understand. I love Clara. This thing with Amanda didn't mean anything. Then, why did you spend an hour last night telling me how Amanda comes to you when she wants to feel alive? You seemed pretty serious about it then. Leo started crying again. I was just trying to get under your skin. I didn't think you would actually do anything about it, Leo. You made your choice. You wanted to humiliate me in front of my girlfriend, and you wanted to brag about your affair. I just made sure the right people heard your confession. I hung up and blocked his number. Sunday afternoon, Amanda showed up at my apartment. She looked like she hadn't slept all night. Tyler, we need to talk. This has gone way too far. Has it? Last night you were laughing while your ex-boyfriend told me about your affair. Now suddenly, it has gone too far. It wasn't an affair. It was complicated. Leo was pressuring me, and I was confused about us getting married. Amanda, I have you on video giggling while he described your hotel meetups. This wasn't confusion. This was cruelty. She started crying. I never meant for it to go this far. Leo said it would be funny to mess with you a little, to see how you would react. It was supposed to be harmless. Harmless? You brought your affair partner to a bar to humiliate your fiancé. You thought I was too weak to do anything about it. I thought you would get jealous and maybe fight with him. Or storm out. I never thought you would secretly record us and destroy his life. His life? Amanda, Leo was cheating on his girlfriend with you while working for her father. I didn't destroy his life. I just made sure the truth came out. Monday morning brought even more chaos. I got a call at work from someone claiming to be Richard Sterling's assistant. Mr. Sterling wanted to speak with me personally about the information I had provided. The call lasted about 10 minutes. Richard Sterling was direct and professional. He thanked me for bringing the situation to his attention and confirmed that Leo's employment had been terminated effective immediately. Mr. Anderson, I want you to know that this kind of behavior is not tolerated at Sterling Enterprises. My daughter deserves better, and my company deserves better. I am sorry it had to come out this way, sir. Don't apologize. You did the right thing. Leo chose to betray my daughter and compromise his professional integrity. The consequences are entirely his responsibility. Tuesday afternoon, I got a text from Kevin asking if I had seen Leo's social media. I checked his Instagram. His account was gone. Facebook showed user not found. The guy had completely scrubbed his online presence. But I also got a message from Clara Sterling through LinkedIn. She thanked me for telling her the truth about Leo. Said she was grateful to find out before the wedding. She seemed like a genuinely nice person who deserved much better than Leo. Wednesday evening, Amanda's mom called me. She was furious. Tyler, what you did to that boy was vindictive and cruel. Amanda made a mistake, but you have ruined an innocent man's life. Mrs. Moore. Leo wasn't innocent. He was cheating on his girlfriend and bragging about it. I just made sure the right people knew the truth. You could have handled this privately. You didn't need to involve his workplace. Actually, his workplace was already involved. He was sleeping with his boss's daughter's friend, while engaged to the boss's daughter. That is not just personal. That is professional suicide. The conversation ended with her threatening to make me pay for destroying Amanda's happiness. I wasn't particularly worried about that. Thursday morning brought the call I had been expecting. Amanda wanted to meet for coffee to work things out. I agreed to meet her at a neutral location. She showed up looking like she had been crying for days. Tyler, I know I screwed up, but we can fix this. Leo's out of the picture now. He will not be a problem anymore. Amanda, the problem wasn't Leo. The problem was you. I made a mistake. People make mistakes in relationships. We can go to counseling. We can work through this. You didn't make a mistake. You planned an elaborate scheme to humiliate me with your affair partner. You thought I was too weak and pathetic to do anything about it. She reached across the table and grabbed my hand. I was wrong about you. I see that now. You are stronger than I thought. That is actually kind of attractive. I pulled my hand away. Amanda, you are not attracted to me being strong. You are scared because your plan backfired. What plan, Tyler? You are being paranoid. The plan where you humiliate your boring fiancé with your exciting ex-boyfriend. Then use my reaction to justify leaving me for him. Except now Leo's lost his job and his girlfriend, so that plan doesn't work anymore. Her face told me I would hit the nail on the head. Tyler, please. We are good together. We can make this work. Amanda, we were never good together. You were just waiting for something better to come along. I left her sitting there and drove home. The engagement ring was in my kitchen drawer. I had taken it back Saturday night while she was dealing with the Leo situation. Friday afternoon, I got one last surprise. A call from Clara Sterling. Mr. Anderson, I hope you don't mind me calling. I wanted to thank you again for what you did. You don't need to thank me, Miss Sterling. I am just sorry you had to find out this way. Actually, I am grateful. I have been having doubts about Leo for months, but I couldn't put my finger on why. Now I know I should have trusted my instincts. Well, you are better off without him, definitely. But I also wanted you to know, Leo tried to contact my father yesterday, begging for his job back. He claimed you fabricated the video somehow. I laughed. Did your father believe that? Not for a second. Dad said anyone stupid enough to confess to adultery on camera while cheating on his boss's daughter deserves exactly what he gets. That was 6 weeks ago. Amanda moved back in with her parents. Leo disappeared from social media entirely. Clara sent me a nice thank you card and mentioned she is doing much better. As for me, I am doing fine. Got a promotion at work last month, and I have been dating someone new for a few weeks. Sarah's a teacher who has never once tested my loyalty or brought her ex-boyfriends around to humiliate me. Sometimes I think about that night at Murphy's and how satisfied Amanda looked when she thought she was breaking me. She had spent weeks planning what she thought would be my humiliation. Instead, she handed me the evidence I needed to expose her affair and destroy her affair partner's life in the process. Update 2. Been a crazy couple months since my last update. Wi-Fi was down for 3 days and work's been insane, but you guys deserve to know how this all played out. So remember, Clara Sterling, Leo's ex-girlfriend, she reached out to me again about 6 weeks after everything went down. Turns out the story gets even better. Tyler, I hope this isn't weird, but I wanted to update you on some things that happened after Leo got fired. Not weird at all. What is going on? Well, Leo tried to get another job in the fitness industry, but word got around pretty quickly about why he left Sterling Enterprises. Nobody wants to hire someone who got fired for cheating on the boss's daughter? Yikes. It gets worse. He moved back in with his parents, and apparently his mom was furious when she found out what happened. She made him call me to apologize. Clara played me a voicemail Leo had left her. It was pathetic, him crying and begging her to tell potential employers that he was a good person who just made one mistake. The best part, Clara continued, is that he has been telling people you somehow tricked him into confessing. Like you are some kind of master manipulator who forced him to brag about cheating. That is ridiculous. I literally just asked him to confirm he and Amanda were friends. Right? He did all the talking. You just sat there and let him dig his own grave. But Clara had more news. Apparently Leo had tried to reconnect with Amanda after losing his job, thinking they could make it work now that they were both single. Amanda told him to leave her alone. She said she was only interested in him when he was successful and exciting. Now that he is unemployed and living with his parents, she doesn't want anything to do with him. So Amanda dumped Leo the second he couldn't provide her with the lifestyle she wanted. Turns out she didn't actually care about him. She just liked what he represented. Tyler, can I ask you something personal? Do you think Amanda ever actually loved you? I thought about it for a minute. Honestly, I think Amanda loved the idea of being engaged. She loved planning a wedding and posting about it on social media. But love me as a person? Probably not. Clara agreed. That is how I feel about Leo now. I think I was in love with his image. Successful guy, good-looking, confident. But the real Leo was just an insecure cheater who needed to put other people down to feel good about himself. About 2 months after the Murphys incident, I got some unexpected news. Amanda's friend Jessica called me out of nowhere. Tyler, I owe you an apology, a huge one. For what? I knew about Amanda and Leo. I have known for months. Amanda told me it was just harmless flirting, but I saw them together a few times and it was obviously more than that. Jessica explained that Amanda had been bragging to their friend group about having the best of both worlds, a stable fiancé for security and an exciting ex-boyfriend for fun. She called you boring, Tyler. She said you were good for paying bills and planning the future. But Leo made her feel alive. I should have told you months ago. Why didn't you? Because Amanda said you knew. She said you guys had some kind of arrangement where you looked the other way as long as she was discreet. I thought you were okay with it. More lies. Amanda had been telling people I was aware of her affair and didn't care. She had been destroying my reputation while cheating on me. Jessica, did Amanda plan that whole scene at Murphy's? Oh yeah. She and Leo spent weeks talking about it. They wanted to see how far they could push you before you would finally stand up for yourself. They thought it would be hilarious to watch you squirm. And after, when I exposed them, Amanda completely freaked out. She couldn't believe you had actually recorded them. She kept saying you were supposed to be too nice and weak to fight back. That conversation really drove home how calculated Amanda's cruelty had been. This wasn't a momentary lapse in judgment. It was a sustained campaign of humiliation that she had planned with her affair partner. 3 months post-Murphy's, I ran into Leo at a grocery store. He looked rough, unshaven, wearing a wrinkled t-shirt, just generally defeated. He saw me first and tried to avoid eye contact, but I walked over. Leo, how is it going, Tyler? He couldn't even look at me. Look, man, I am sorry about everything. I was out of line that night. Which part? The affair or the part where you tried to humiliate me? All of it. I was being an ass. I lost my job, my girlfriend, my apartment. I had to move back in with my parents. I am working at a chain gym for $12 an hour. He looked like he was about to cry. I know you probably hate me, but I am really sorry. I screwed up everything good in my life, Leo. You didn't screw up. You made choices. You chose to cheat on Clara, you chose to have an affair with Amanda, and you chose to try to humiliate me. Those weren't mistakes. They were decisions. I know. I thought I was this successful guy who could have whatever I wanted. I thought I was better than everyone else. And now I am 31 years old. Living in my childhood bedroom, working a dead-end job, and no decent woman will date me because word gets around in this city. I am exactly what I always looked down on. I almost felt bad for him. Almost, Leo. You had a great job, a beautiful girlfriend, and a bright future. You threw it all away because you wanted to feel superior to other people. I know. Amanda will not even return my texts anymore. She says I am beneath her standards now. Maybe that is for the best. You two deserve each other. Last month, I heard through the grapevine that Amanda's been struggling too. She lost several friends who found out about the affair and didn't approve of how she handled things. She has been trying to date, but apparently guys in our social circle are wary of someone who publicly humiliated her fiancé. My buddy Kevin told me she has been asking mutual friends about me, wondering if I would consider giving her another chance. The answer is obviously no. But it is interesting that she is only interested now that her other options have dried up. As for me, things are going really well. Sarah and I have been together for 4 months now, and it is completely different from my relationship with Amanda. Sarah actually seems to like spending time with me, asks about my day, and has never once brought an ex-boyfriend around to test my jealousy. Work's been great too. I got assigned to lead a major project after my boss said he was impressed with how I handled a difficult personal situation with such professionalism. Apparently not completely losing my mind during the Amanda drama made a good impression. Sometimes, I think about that night at Murphy's and how proud Amanda and Leo looked when they thought they were destroying me. They had planned this elaborate humiliation, thinking I was too weak and boring to fight back effectively. Instead, they handed me everything I needed to expose their affair and ruin Leo's career in the process. The boring guy they underestimated turned out to be smart enough to record their confession and determined enough to make sure the right people heard it. Amanda wanted excitement and adventure. Leo wanted to feel superior and powerful. They both got exactly what they deserved instead. Final update. It has been almost a year since the Murphy's incident, and people keep asking for a final update. So here is where everything stands now. Leo never recovered professionally. Word spread through the fitness industry about why he got fired from Sterling Enterprises, and nobody wants to hire someone who cheated on his boss's daughter. Last I heard, he is still working at that chain gym, living with his parents, and struggling to make ends meet. Clara Sterling sent me a Christmas card last year with a photo of her new boyfriend, a lawyer who works for her father's company. She looked genuinely happy. She wrote a note saying she was grateful every day that she found out about Leo before they got married. Amanda's been having a rough time too. Her social media presence, which used to be all about her fabulous lifestyle and perfect relationship, has basically disappeared. Mutual friends tell me she has been working at different marketing agencies, never staying anywhere more than a few months. About 6 months ago, Amanda tried one more time to reach out. She sent me a long email apologizing for everything and asking if we could meet for coffee just to talk. I didn't respond. There is nothing left to say. The most satisfying part is that Amanda and Leo's grand plan to humiliate me ended up exposing exactly who they really were. Amanda wasn't the successful, confident woman she pretended to be. She was someone who needed constant validation from multiple men. Leo wasn't the successful entrepreneur he claimed to be. He was an insecure guy who could only feel good about himself by putting others down. Meanwhile, Sarah and I are talking about moving in together. She has met my parents, I have met hers, and everything feels natural and healthy. No games, no tests, no need to prove anything to anyone. I kept the pen camera I used that night at Murphy's. Sometimes I look at it and remember how satisfied Amanda looked when she thought she was breaking me down. She was so certain I was too weak and boring to do anything about her affair. She had no idea she was confessing to someone who was already 3 steps ahead of her. The funniest part is that Amanda always called me boring and predictable. But the most boring, predictable thing I could have done would have been to just break up with her quietly when I found out about the affair. Instead, I let her and Leo hang themselves with their own rope. I gave them exactly enough space to reveal who they really were, and then I made sure the right people saw the truth. Leo lost his career, his girlfriend, and his reputation. Amanda lost her relationship, several friendships, and the respect of our entire social circle. I lost a cheating girlfriend and gained clarity about what I actually want in a partner. Sometimes the boring guy wins by being smart enough to let the exciting people destroy themselves.